I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah, it's Friday. And you know what that means? Either we have a luminary or we have a call-in show. And today we have ourselves a little call-in show. And with that, we're going to bring in my good friend, Mr. Chris Shaffer. How you doing, Chris?
Doing well, Vinny. How you doing? Rocking that stallion hat.
Yeah, I got to say, I think Serena gave me this a couple of years ago. And it's kind of a neat looking hat, right? It's all yellow and everything. There's a stallion on it. Mm-hmm.
Does that make you the Italian stallion? That's the second Rocky joke in 2 call-in shows.
I know. What's with the Rocky jokes? Well, actually, and we talked about Frank Stallone. I mean, it's just all Stallone all the time. But we're not here to talk about us and the Stallone brothers. We're here to do a call-in show now. I think we have a couple of people on hold, right?
We do.
Who do we have up first, Chris?
First up, we have Miss Lori. Miss Lori, give me a thumbs up in that camera if you're ready to come on in. We'll bring you in. Just go ahead and unmute yourself. Hey, Lori.
Hello. Exciting to be here today.
You're excited. I'm excited. Yeah. Where are you in the world, Lori?
I am in the Los Angeles County area up in the high desert, but it's a cool and windy day today, not too hot.
Give me a town. I know that area really well.
Okay, so Mojave, Lancaster, Palmdale area.
Yeah. Mojave got a Starbucks a couple of years ago.
Did it really? I haven't seen it. I was driving through there the other day.
Yeah. Right where the the 5, well, I guess the 14 hits the 395 right before you make the turn right there.
I cut off the business route when I head for the freeway, so I guess I don't go that way.
Yeah. So, here's what I learned. I'm not a big Starbucks person, right? But what I've learned about Starbucks is they're trying to train people. You ever go to Starbucks, Lori?
I do. I only get black coffee, but I hear the water is good, and now they're doing coffee fresh, straight from the coffee bean press. So that's actually kind of nice to get it fresh in that regard. I know it's not organic, but at least.
Yeah, well, listen, it doesn't have to be organic. You want good coffee. And, when you're going through there, it's the best coffee in the desert, right? I mean, there's nothing else there.
Right.
So I was going up to Lone Pine a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped in there on the way to Lone Pine, and I walked in. I was the only person in the store, and it was hot as hell, as you can only imagine. It was early July, and I said, "Hey, give me one of those nitro brews." I figure it's cold, and it's going to be nice, strong coffee, and I'm going to get over to Lone Pine, and because we're doing some climbing the next day. And the guy goes, "All right." So he takes my money, the card, and then there's the thing. All you got to do is pull the handle, and this cold kind of foamy coffee will come out. He could have done that and handed it to me inside of, let's call it 15 seconds if he was taking his time. Meanwhile, he went over and started helping the women. There was 2 women working the cars coming through. And I noticed after I looked around, there's cars going around the place, right? 10 minutes passed. During that time, other people walked right past me and grabbed their drink. See, they called ahead. I know about the call ahead because my wife has done it a few times. Meanwhile, the customer who just walked in and ordered the simplest drink you have is still standing there. 15 minutes passed. Nothing. So finally I said to the guy, I said, "Hey, listen, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. All you got to do is pour that drink and I can be out of your hair." And he goes, "Yeah, we have to do them in order." I said, "But other people," he goes, "Yeah, but they called ahead." See, he's teaching me. We do that a lot in the world today. He was teaching me. We don't want your kind in here. Not they don't want my kind. We don't want you walking in here willy-nilly ordering a coffee. We're going to train you so that next time you will do something dangerous, guy who's driving by himself, and order it from the car. Or you're going to get in line with everyone at the window. See, they were training me. Because he could have easily just pulled that handle and in 10 seconds handed me that coffee. But no, they're not going to do that. We're going to teach the old guy that he's not doing it the way we want to do it. And that's when I said, all right, if I'm not in the car with my wife, I'll never be stopping in here again. Right? So who taught who? Now, I get it. It's a big multi-bazillion-dollar company. They're not going to miss my business. And everyone else likes the automation of it all. But who lost? Not me. Hell, I got a cup of coffee right here. No Starbucks needed. It's right here.
Right.
Take a sip right now.
Yeah, that happened to me at another location. I went in, ordered a black coffee, and 15 minutes later, I'm like, can't you just give me my cup of coffee? But no, I guess you just explained why I had to wait 15 minutes.
Well, Laurie, they used to do that. The cashier person used to do that. They would take it and then they would make your coffee right away. They still do that at the airport because there's no other business except that business, right? The old model. But no one else. They're not doing that. If there's a drive-through or a chance for people to call ahead, they will not do it. They will train you. We do not want you in the store. It's already a kiosk. I mean, they're not baristas. They're not making coffee. Look, I'm a coffee guy. I own purecoffeeclub.com. I got a real espresso machine right behind me. Old school. They do not have the old school real espresso machines anymore. Everything is done with an automated machine. They're not sitting there measuring the coffee and everything. Everything is pre-measured in a machine. It's a kiosk. That's all they are. So I don't want to hear barista thrown around with the Starbucks thing. I'm sure you didn't call me to talk about this. Now, Laurie, I see that you have a lot of letters next to your name. A-CFHC, certified FDN. What does all that mean?
So that is when I actually turned my brain back on with low carb and keto lifestyle. I actually kind of got excited about life and started training for functional health and nutrition. So the first program I jumped into was the ADAPT functional health coaching program. So I did that, and then decided when I found out more about functional diagnostic nutrition, I jumped into that. And so I just retrained myself and recertified, and I've been living low carb lifestyle for the last 9 years. So I've been feeling really good overall. Body's holding up, feeling good.
Well, you look terrific. Let's
Thank
start
you.
with that.
I forgot to put makeup on.
You don't need makeup. You don't need it. You're perfect the way you are. So what made you get into low carb? You said 9 years ago. That's early adoption, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, I was looking for a weight loss solution. I was 225 pounds in my mid-30s. My husband told me I needed to lose the weight. So I was researching. I'm a reader. I read all the books and found my way into ancestral health and nutrition and paleo diets, and just kept, pushing on through and trying to figure out how to make my body function at the metabolic level. And it wasn't until I landed in keto that it actually started functioning, where I only dropped 20 pounds initially, but my brain turned back on. That was the most exciting thing. So when you've had depression from eating wheat and having dairy sensitivities and there's no brain power, it's really hard to function. So that was pretty exciting. And then I just got excited about it. So I just kept pushing through and just living the lifestyle and recreating my life to be a practitioner now, helping others figure out their life journeys, specifically women over 50, because that's been my journey. Because I've lost 100 pounds, and I did most of that during menopause in my 50s. So it's really not an excuse to say that we're just getting older. It is always going to be, what are you doing to your body and what's your environment?
I want to unpack some of this because this is very interesting to me. So you said you were 35 years old the first time you started, playing around with this, right?
Playing
So,
around with regular diets. I didn't do low carb till I was 53.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you're
sorry
playing
about
around
that.
with regular diets,
Took
and
me
you
out
weigh
20 years to figure it out. Yeah,
okay. So you weighed 225 at that time.
right.
And did you feel like you were doing everything right? You were trying to do all the right things, and
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I jumped into the fat-free, programs with Susan Powter. I got an exercise bike. I did the movement. I cut out all the sugar. I cut out the fat. I left in the sugar, and I lost some weight, but I would always gain it back. And so I couldn't keep the weight off, and I would always still be inflamed with asthma. I always had the depression. I never felt healthy, even if I lost weight. It still just boomeranged back. It was never a solution.
well, Susan Powter, her big thing was you got to breathe. Why aren't you breathing? Breathe. You got to sleep. That was the thing, right? She would yell at people, breathe, sleep. There was another guy, Tony Little, I want to say his name. It might not have been Little.
I didn't hear about him.
He had a ponytail that he pulled through the back of his cap. A dude with the ponytail, with the hole in the back. And he would go, technique. You need technique. Listen, those were the infomercial days.
Yeah, Tony Little's the gazelle guy, right?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
get on
that
the gazelle. You
machine.
got to have technique.
I completely missed him.
Oh, no. If you saw him, Chris, don't pull him up. I don't want to have three things. But, he was, if you look up Tony Little, he was like this short kind of fire plug, very good shape. And he had golden blonde hair that he pulled through the cap, through the back of the cap, ponytail. Every one of these people, if you remember sitcoms, right? Of course you remember sitcoms, right? Even though your brain wasn't turned on yet, because I want to get into that too. But if you think about it, back in the 80s and 90s, if you were on a sitcom, you had to have a catchphrase. Like Urkel would go, did I do that? 12 times a show. Did I do that? Fonzie. Hey. All these people had a catchphrase, right? You had to have a. So when infomercials became a thing, they had to have a catchphrase. Every infomercial had a catchphrase. And Susan Powter was one of the biggest ones, right? Yeah. And her thing was, you got to breathe. Well, shit, Susan, what do you think I'm doing all day, every day? You think I'm my breath? I'm already breathing. Her thing, help me out, Laurie. Was it you got to breathe, you got to sleep, you got to eat? Was that it?
Those days were a blur because all I remember is I needed to lose the weight, and she was the one that was out there pushing weight loss. And so I just followed what she did. I read her book, but I didn't watch a lot of TV, so maybe I didn't catch all the commercials.
Oh, Chris, find out she had like a catchphrase. You got to eat, you got to sleep, you got to breathe or something. Find out Susan Powter's thing. We need to know.
I think you'll recognize Tony Little. You might not know the name, but he's like Fitness Fabio.
Right? I probably saw him. I
guarantee you.
It was like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, you've seen him. Even through your haze of, All right, so if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
62.
Okay, so you and I are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
When's your birthday? Maybe we have a birthday.
12/27.
Okay,
December 27th.
Okay, so I'm going to be 63 right before you.
So yeah, we are really pretty much the same age.
Yeah, we're born same time.
Cool.
All right. So you went through 35, the whole thing. You're overweight. You can't figure it out. When do you start? So paleo did come around. Dr. Lauren Cardane, who's been on the show a couple of times and everything, he was the first one with the whole paleo thing. Guys like me weren't on the internet yet. I had my celebrity clients, and I was doing low carb because that was my secret. A couple of other guys were using it, but I was using it to a great degree. What happened when you found paleo and that sort of thing? What year was that, and how old were you at the time?
Oh, paleo must have been, I must have been at least 50, because I know I transitioned to keto about 53, 54. So, I mean, it was prior to that, but even with paleo, they allow fruit, and it allowed some honey. Well, I couldn't tolerate that amount of sugar. I was pre-diabetic and my eyes were kind of wonky, but I would get brain fog. I would just be hazy. So I would crave it. So I couldn't really, I wasn't losing any weight on paleo. It didn't make me feel good, but I was trying to be gluten-free because I'd read the Wheat Belly book, William Davis. I was practicing being wheat-free. I'd done HCG. I lost a lot of weight on HCG. I just gained it all back as soon as I brought in wheat and, any kind of fruit or honey. I just had it healed my body. Even though HCG, you lose the weight, I'm now just thinking about this. I obviously didn't lose, completely fix my metabolism because the weight just boomeranged right back.
When did you start with premenopause, perimenopause?
53. Just like a switch. Yep. Just flip the switch and I was done. 53.
Wow. Because most women start late 40s and then, so you just carried on.
Perimenopause. I meant menopause at 53, but perimenopause would have been, I still had children at about 37 and 39. So perimenopause for me would have been sometime after that, but I did have PCOS back before the last 2 children were born.
Yeah. Okay. And the brain fog and all of that just continued on through until you went. So what made you go low carb? Who did you find at that point?
It was Gary Taubes and William Davis, and starting to listen to Dave Asprey. I went to the Bulletproof Conference and I just got more information. And as I started studying functional nutrition, and I just needed to be able, I guess, to turn off the cravings and the hunger. Once I was able to do that, I was able to focus and get my brain back on track and just continue with the process. So it was back when I was 53, about that time period, and about 2016 or so, that I went to the Bulletproof Conference. I had already done all the research. I got excited about it and just jumped straight in. And there was a brain cancer survivor. It was a 10-year brain cancer survivor at the conference that I went to. And he was doing a lecture on body types. And I asked him a question afterwards. I said, should I be eating any fruit? And he just mentioned, not with my body type. But anyway, I just stopped eating fruit because I'd been nibbling on trail mix with goji berries, golden berries, all the antioxidants. I used to work in a natural food store. These were antioxidants that were good for you. It was all good paleo food, but it wasn't good for my body. It kept my insulin levels too high.
Yeah. I tell that to people all the time, goji berries, grapes, well, not grapes, but raisins and the whole thing. It's nature's sugar turds, right?
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it. It's the same sugar. Your body registers, your brain, your liver doesn't go, oh, wait, Laurie just gave me sugar from a date or sugar from a goji berry. All your liver sees is, sugar. Oh, Laurie gave me sugar. Mm-hmm. Right? It doesn't know the difference.
Vinnie, what about acai berries?
Aren't they? Yeah.
Oh, that's another one.
Yep, that is another one.
Yeah, those had a big day. They had their day right around the time chia seeds was a superfood.
Yeah, but those are always mixed with ice cream. I mean, if you get an acai bowl, you either got yogurt that's full of sugar or ice cream full of sugar while you put your acai powder over that or the fruit.
Yeah, it's just nuts what they tell you is actually good for you, and it's not, right? And so at some point you went, okay, we're done. I'm done. Gary Taubes, big friend of mine. Gary used to come on the show all the time. I need to have Gary back on. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Nina Teicholz earlier today.
Yeah. I've read both of their books. They've changed, all 3 of you, everybody, has been my, people I've studied from and learned from, my mentors. You guys have all been my mentors, and it's really helped me make that transition to low carb living.
Oh, thanks. Nina's coming on the show on Friday. I'm recording with her on Friday because she's got a lot going on. And, all of these people, man, they've helped, more people like you. Mm-hmm. And still with the maha and the this and the baha and the every ha, we still aren't there. We're still not there. They're still going, I don't know. The saturated fat. Oh, maybe it's a bad thing. Yeah. But here you are at 62, feeling better than you did at 35. Mm-hmm. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, 100%. No disease, no medications. I just went hiking at Mount Baden-Powell here in Los Angeles. I know it's not as high as Mount Whitney, but I went up from 6,000 feet to 9,400 feet without hardly huffing and puffing, and did really good cardiovascularly. And, I'm like, every year I'm stronger. I've better health every single year.
Yeah. I haven't talked about this, but this year on because I've been getting some vertigo and stuff like that. And I was talking to some high altitude people, and they said, Vin, look, you've been doing this low carb thing for so long. Take a few carbs with you on the mountain this year. So I did.
It
Right?
helped?
No, nothing. Number one. And number two, I did mostly fat, but when I started taking in the sugar, I took in a little sugar. 20 minutes later, I'm starving.
Oh, wow.
And I get that low, it was like, oh shit, I'd forgotten that this exists.
Right?
And I put it all the way to the top, and I didn't get vertigo until I was 200 feet from the top. So I almost made it to the top. I used to go 16,000 feet, no vertigo, and that's only 14.5. So I'm like, geez, there's something going on here. I ate, and this is not an advertisement. I swear to God. Anna, they weren't even out yet. They came out that day, and Anna gave me an advanced package of the cheese bites. And she said, hey, would you do a little thing on the mountain with these when you get up there and the whole thing?
I saw that reel. I was so jealous. I'm like, you already got ahead of it.
I had the first one. So you saw the reel, right? And I got up there and I was like, oh, I got vertigo. I laid down for a second. I felt better. I stood up. I went, I got Anna's cheese bites here. These are the first ones to make it to 14,500 feet. And I ate one. And then a few minutes later, I was like, you know what? It's pretty damn good. Right. And I ate another couple, and before I knew it, I had real fat in me. I had real protein in me, and I felt better. Now, I still had the vertigo until I got down to about 13.5. Right. Once you get it, your crystals go, I don't understand, but it goes off and the whole thing. But at least
ketones. Would the ketones help that, do you think?
Well, I don't think, and here's why. Because I've done Whitney so many times in dietary ketosis. One time I proved that I went up and the only thing I had was coconut oil and salt and water, meaning my electrolyte, and water, to prove that you need nothing. And all right, well, on that time, I ate bacon and eggs that morning at 3 a.m, started walking at about 4:30, and I had the coconut oil on the summit. I ate nothing for 6 hours to the top, five and a half hours to the top, nothing. And then ate the coconut oil and came all the way back down. Wasn't hungry, didn't lose energy. So obviously I was in dietary ketosis the whole time. Having extra exogenous ketones, I'm not sure would have helped. Maybe, but yeah. I just
know one of the things I did a half marathon up in Glacier at the end of June. And I had done it a year before in Tennessee. And I wanted to see if I could get more energy. I felt like my muscles were running out of energy at the end, even though I'm doing it in ketosis. I pretty much just do bulletproof coffee, supplements, and collagen is pretty much what goes into my pre-fuel for my half marathons. But I took the ketones, the ketone IQ, as well as some extra fat from Keto Bricks. And it gave me the extra energy that I needed to push through for my build, for my muscle. I'm not as muscular maybe as some people, but that was enough to get me the fuel in my muscles to keep me energized. So I felt like I did pretty good doing that. But that's just something that I was experimenting with for my body.
Now, I could tell you this. I did Keto Brick one time. He's a friend of mine, the guy that does Keto Bricks.
Yeah.
And I said, and I buy his product from time to time. So I was like, let me do this climb. I'm in ketosis. I'm gonna do it with Keto Brick, and I did. And as it turns out, they melt at a certain point.
They do.
I feel like I was licking Keto Brick out of a baby's diaper. You know what I'm talking about. It's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he's a good guy. He's got a great product. It does not travel well on the mountain. As a matter of fact, I've suggested, people who do rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon.
Right.
people that do it low carb, they run out of stuff to eat. And of course, I'm not producing ultra fat right now. I used to give them a lot of ultra fat.
Oh, I normally order that for the Grand Canyon, and I have a Grand Canyon trip at the end of September.
Chris, do we have any that we could get to Laurie?
Yeah, we have a handful still.
Oh, wow.
Don't sell it to her. Just send her what she needs, please. If
Thank
we can
you.
send her, something to help her through.
Taking my friend down, and we're going to the river the 27th of September.
That's my birthday.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing it on your birthday? Oh, that's going to be so exciting.
Well, Chris, this is my birthday gift to Laurie. Send her
Oh my
some
gosh.
ultra
Thank
fat.
you so much.
And folks, we can't have anyone else ask for it because I can't believe Chris actually has some. I'm almost out here.
We'll split it. Make sure he gives you half.
No, I have a bunch here, but here's the thing. We're going to try to bring it back at some point, but we saved the other two companies, and we were getting bad press from the fact that for some reason the post office couldn't deliver this stuff. So I said, you know what? I'm shutting down production until we can figure this out, because
I'm convinced they were just eating it.
I was going on. It was so pathetic, but whenever I do something like that long, and you can't get to a 7-Eleven, or I'm saying, you know what I mean.
I know, I love them, especially the coffee one.
Yeah, that, and I'll bring the Epic bars, which I can't stand because they taste like crap to me, but I'll eat that. I'll bring coconut oil. You end up drinking that because it's hot in places like that. But that, people go, how do you get through? It's like, well, day one, I still have boiled eggs with me, but I have all this other stuff, and you can make it through.
Yeah,
you can make it happen.
Definitely.
Laurie, thank you for everything you do. I'm glad that you're out there helping other people.
Passing the word around, letting people know that you can be healthy at 62 and not in a disease state if you choose to have metabolic recovery.
Yeah, I just followed you right now on the Instagram, even though I don't do Instagram anymore because they suck. I'm going to follow you on Instagram here.
Thank you.
And
this was really fun. When I saw that email come out, I'm like, oh my gosh, finally I get to jump on with Vinnie.
Yeah, well, we're doing more of these because people like them, and we're going to keep doing them.
Cool. And I loved your book. Your book was amazing. Loved it. Read it cover to cover. So you did a good job with that book.
You are too kind. And keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
And keep checking in with us.
Will do. And thank you for the gift, and happy birthday. And I'll be thinking of you on my hike.
And happy birthday to you in December. Folks, purevitaminclub.com. Purevitaminclub.com. Best vitamins on the planet. Go check it out right now. I'm sure Laurie will be using our famous Ultra Salt when she's out there doing all of her stuff. And, the multivitamins. We got the zinc. We have the magnesium that if we ever run out of magnesium, people try to find us and burn us down because they get so addicted to the magnesium. So, folks, go check out purevitaminclub.com. When you're on the site, you'll see that I put purecoffeeclub.com on the same site. So it's a one-stop shop, purevitaminclub.com and purecoffeeclub.com on the same site. So go check it out right now. And Bob's your uncle. Chris, who do we have? We have Mike and Rebecca.
Yeah, we have a twofer up next. Mike and Rebecca, give me a thumbs up in that camera if you're ready to come on in. Double thumbs up.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
That's a promising sign.
Now we can only see Mike, and I got a feeling that Rebecca is the better looking in the group. There she is.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
We're doing good.
We're from Louisiana, Vinnie.
What part of Louisiana?
Alexandria.
That's not Louisiana. That's up north where I come from.
Yeah, that's what you would say.
My college roommate, football player, Mike Fiducia, was from Alexandria.
I don't know.
I don't know him. Fiducia.
Probably the only Italians in Alexandria. I'm going to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have some D'Amicos and some.
Yeah, you Cajuns like to keep your eye on them, right? Make sure they're doing the right thing.
That's true.
That's right.
Yeah, we got a D'Amico. We know where he is. We keep an eye on him.
Mhm.
Mike Fiducia. And I played with another guy from that area, but I want to say he went to, was Bunky or Bunker or Bunky or something like
Monkey.
that? That's near you guys too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. There's another linebacker from Bunky. Yeah. So how did you guys find me and all of this?
Well, Rebecca is the one that found you.
We were listening to Mike Rowe. We walk in the mornings and we'll listen to podcasts. And before we found you, we were mostly listening to Mike Rowe, and you were on with Mike Rowe.
Yeah. Mike's a good
Twice,
guy.
I think. Yes, but the first time was
Yeah.
about 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. I like that he likes me.
Yeah.
Right. We're the same age, same kind of, I think we think alike, on a lot. I've become friends with Chuck, his
Yes.
producer.
The sidekick.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it turns out that we all kind of grew up the same. We were all kind of nerds in school, and here we
Gotta
are.
have nerds.
Yeah, we rule the world, kind of way it works.
I jumped right into NSNG. It took Mike a little while to join me, but he's
Coming
the
around.
one that has more questions than I do.
Always.
All right, well, let's start with you, Mike.
So I keep pushing the envelope. So I try to stick with the NSNG. Definitely feel the benefits where I feel good. But what I'm trying to do is, how do I gain weight? And we talked, I think it was probably in the November group session. And one of pretty much the comment was exercise. So I've definitely started exercising. And I will say I can put on muscle mass since we talked. I need to get back to it because the walking is good for me, but it's not everything that I need. So I need to get back to it.
Yeah, look, I mean, we talked about it before. How old are you? Remind the audience.
66.
Okay. So as you know, we talked about it back then. Sarcopenia is not your friend. It's not my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not any of our friends, right? So the fact that you guys are exercising is a good thing. And then people start saying to me, what's the best exercise? And of course, my answer is obviously whichever one you're willing to do. But there's a big but in there. If you want to put on lean muscle mass, you have to move heavy objects. There's just no two ways about it,
Yeah.
right? Someone said to me, if you had to pick one exercise for people to do, it's like, well, if you have a strong back, I tell them to just do deadlifts, right? Because you're incorporating most of the muscles in your body, right? If you had to pick one. If you were able to pick two, I would say squats and deadlifts. And you go, wait a minute, you're not mentioning any real upper body exercises. If you only had to do two things, I would want you to work the biggest muscles in your body to keep as much muscle mass in your body as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Now you will go, okay, let's say you're just talking upper body stuff, because squats and deadlifts are basically working your lower body. Of course, the deadlifts, you're using some of your upper body. What about the upper body? Well, you can only do two things with your arms. You can push things away and you can pull things towards you, right?
Yep.
So anything from push-ups to bench press to incline press and shoulder press. So you're pushing out, medium, and then straight up over your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all the pushing you can do. And then as far as pulling goes, well, you could do a pull-up or a lat pull, either wide or close, and you could do a rowing movement, where you're pulling in. That's all you can do. And people go, what about curls? What about tricep extensions? What about deltoid raises? Yeah, that's all bodybuilding stuff that you can do if you have a shit ton of time on your hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you've pushed something away from your body and pulled something towards your body and you did it to failure, you're done. Your brain got the message, right? Now, if you want to be an Instagram model and you want every muscle to be perfect, or you want to join a bodybuilding competition or whatever, now that's a different conversation, right? And the other side of it is, and I think, Mike, is the most important side. It doesn't, it only works if you work it. It's kind of like pedaling a bike, right? You pedal a bike. If you stop pedaling, you'll coast for a minute, but then you're going to fall over. You go, why did the bike keep going? I've been pedaling for an hour. Well, no, you can pedal for a week. As soon as you stop, it's going to coast and you're going to tip over. Same thing with exercise, with lifting weights. You can miss a couple of workouts and look in a mirror and go, I still got it. But eventually, hypertrophy is going to turn into atrophy and you're going to go in reverse. And at our age, I'm right behind you by 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At our age, it's going to catch you sooner than later. Does that make sense?
Yep, definitely.
So you got to stay on top of it. And, it sounds like Rebecca was kind of selling you out a minute ago. She was like, oh, he doesn't do it as good as I do.
That's not true.
The more protein you prioritize when you're doing that, the better off you're going to be. So within your fat and your protein, prioritize. How much do you weigh? How tall are you, mate?
5'8", 128 pounds.
Yeah, you want to have somewhere between 90 and 110 grams of protein per day, which should be pretty easy to do if you're eating low carb, because you're either eating fish, chicken, pork, or red meat. And down there, alligator, duck, and frogs. And yes, folks, they do eat frogs. It's one of my favorite meals.
But a good beef steak is good. Wonderful.
Yeah, I have them almost every night. I just, in between shows here, my wife made a great beef chili. I was just having chili right before this. I can't get enough of that. Rebecca, how are you doing over there?
I think I'm doing great. I had a lot of non-scale victories. I stopped having cold sores every 2 or 3 months. I stopped having heartburn, which I guess I always thought it was meat, but I think it must have been the seed oils. I had those ugly old people toenails, and those cleared up and became pretty toenails. I know that's kind of gross, but I have more stamina. I just love it. It's easy. It's
You get more compliments.
I do get a lot of compliments. People will ask me, what have you done? Because I went from like a size 8, almost a size 10 to a size 2. I work at a school and people say, what are you doing? And I'll tell them, well, it's no sugars, no grains. And they say, no sugars, that'll never happen. It's like, okay, I can't help you.
When you live in Louisiana, like I got family members, they know what I do. They've known what I've done for years. I got a brother that weighs 340 pounds.
Yeah.
No interest.
Yeah.
Less than zero interest. Right? But, like I always say, you got to meet people where they are. And, I like the non-scale victories. Women notice more than men. They say, oh, my toenails look good again. My hair is different. My, my eyelashes. I've had women tell me that one of the things, I think it was in the last show, Chris, was the last show, because we're doing back-to-back shows. Guy was going, hey, my gums started growing back. My dentist is telling me my gums that were receding. Now, you hear that a lot, where they'll say the gums stop receding or they'll grow back to a degree.
Interesting.
And they'll tell you once you lose your gum line, it ain't coming back.
No.
Right? But if you eat right, you get enough animal protein, that's going to happen. Right? So I love when people come on and they have the non-scale victories, right? It's one of my favorite things, right? We have a lot of weight loss that goes on in this group, a lot of it. But I love when I hear from guys like you that talk about, it's the non-scale victories. I got pretty toenails. I love that. That's great.
I like the heartburn.
Look, the heartburn thing, my old business partner, he complained about, heartburn and GERD and this and that and the whole thing. And I don't know if you know this, but when that happens enough, you end up with esophageal cancer.
Sure.
Right? I had a family member, I got to sleep sitting up, the heartburn, I would say, you got to eat this way. No, that's going to make it worse. Doctor says fat's going to make it worse. Please just listen to me. And when they listen, heartburn goes away. It completely goes away. It's crazy, right?
Well, it took me 2 or 3 weeks, and then I said, "Oh, I'm not reaching for the whatever I was using. I can't even remember because I don't buy it anymore. You know, I stopped having headaches. The Tylenol company misses me. It's just amazing."
Yeah, and look, I mean, when you think about it, you know, the drug companies are having a problem right now with the whole Maha movement, right? And they're going, wait a minute, we don't like this. People won't need our drugs anymore. Look at you. You're not using, just think if there's 1 million people like you that's not taking Tylenol anymore. That's a big drop in their company. Get to 2 million, it's even a bigger drop. 10 million is even a bigger drop. We have 350 million people in this country. They need every one of you guys taking drugs. And we're just talking to Laurie, who's my age. She's off of drugs, right? She's not taking anything. Now we're talking to you guys. It's like, yeah, Tylenol, people miss me, right? And I'm guessing you're on Segment or Prilosec.
We hadn't started any of the like
maintenance meds.
Maintenance meds and we're in an RV group, and most of the people are 70 and older, and they sit around the table talking about their meds, and we're looking at each other like we don't take any meds. Kind of like you and your friends, you know, you go and I'm on 5, I'm on 6, you know, I'm on 0.
They don't believe you when you tell them, do they?
They don't. They don't.
The doctor doesn't believe me when I tell them I'm on 0.
Oh, every time I go to a new doctor, they'll go, "Oh, you forgot to put your meds down here." I say, "No, they're all listed." Yeah, they're all listed. You know, even my parents, I got them off of a bunch of drugs, a bunch of them.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, and how much do we save our country when not everybody's using Medicare for all those? You know, we're that age now. We signed up for Medicare last year. It's like we haven't really had a need to use it. Thank goodness.
Look, you know, Mike Rowe always talks about work scholarships and getting people working and the whole thing. My thing, you know, Chris can tell you, one of my things, I should say it more. I was saying it for years. We're going to break under the weight of our own weight.
Yes.
Right. People talk about, oh, money this, money that. Think about the money that's going in, you know, Medicare, Medicaid, paying for all those drugs. Drug companies aren't giving it to them for free. Yeah. Right. You know, we're going to just break under the weight of our own weight unless we get this under control. Right.
Yep.
I think Mike had a few more questions. I don't want to hog the whole thing. This was his show, but
yep. So my question would be, okay, dementia and Alzheimer's. I know you've had Mary Newhart.
Newport.
Yeah.
So definitely read her book, and I know I need to add the MCT to my regimen and coconut oil. Anything else?
No. You know, she talks about the thing that to know about MCT oil is that it's refined coconut oil. And if you take too much of it, you'll get stomach distress. You could give yourself diarrhea and everything else. Be careful with the MCT oil. You're probably good enough using just the coconut oil. But the key factor behind all of it is to stay in dietary ketosis. Okay. Right. Okay. That's the biggest takeaway from the Mary Newport thing. And, you know, you could take exogenous ketones, but it's expensive. The ketone salts don't work as well as the ketone esters, but you can create it. You can make a lot of ketones in your body just by staying very high fat, very low carb. And it's kind of where you need to be.
Okay. Now she accepts a little bit more sugar in her diet plan.
You're talking about
Mary Newport?
No, he's talking about Kate
Shanahan.
Okay.
He says you can have up to 100
milligrams.
Grams, 100 grams a day, but
so
17 is a good number to shoot for.
Yeah, I think it's too much. I mean, I couldn't imagine eating 100 grams of sugar a day. That's crazy. It's a crazy amount of sugar.
It is.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I agree with Kate on a lot of things, but I would have to push back on that. If you're healthy and you're an athlete or something like that, yeah, you get away with that. You can. You're a marathon runner, ultra cyclist, ultra runner, this kind of thing. you're rowing for your college team. 100 grams of carbohydrates, sugar, no problem. And you're young, your body can handle it.
We're
But
not
so
young.
what you're trying to do? No, we are not. We're not young, right? So I would stay much lower than that.
Okay.
All right. That'll be my challenge for the next call.
Yeah,
Start on the
you're
snack.
around. Come back and let us know that you succeeded, Mike.
All righty.
Cool.
I can do it.
Nice talking to you guys.
It was so nice talking to you.
You bet.
We appreciate everything you're out there trying to do for America's health.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm not trying. I'm doing it.
You are doing it.
That's what I'm doing.
So bring back presidential fitness.
I think they're trying to bring it back.
I think they are.
Yep.
Yeah. And nobody gave me a phone call, which is fine because I'm offering my services for free. So I'm glad they didn't call me. I just hope they get it done.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't have to call Vinnie. They can just listen to the podcast.
Yeah, and then do it.
Pull up the 63 document again.
Yeah, look, we need to get there. All right, guys. Thank you for being on. And please come back and let me tell and let me know how it works out.
Okay.
Will
Villa
do.
Capelli olive oil, the best olive oil on the planet. I'm not just saying that because they pay me. I'm saying it because it's true. Villa Capelli. I can't get enough of this stuff. I know they have a new packaging over at Villa Capelli. Go check it out. The spout seems to be on the bottom. I haven't gotten one yet. I can't wait to get my next order. I'm sure Steven's going to send it. Villa Capelli olive oil. No seed oils are mixed in. It's 100% pure olive oil from Puglia. You get that Puglia pinch. You know it's real olive oil because it makes you choke a little bit when you drink it. And yes, I do drink it. Matter of fact, we were just talking to Mike, and he was talking about taking coconut oil. Mike, if you can hear me right now, take olive oil too. Best thing you could do for your body. I got a thumbs up. That means he's going to do it. Folks, go check out Villa Capelli. Just like Mike, if you want to save 10%, put in promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, for 10% off every single time. Promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, no wimpy Y. Villa Capelli, let them know we sent you. Chris, who's up next?
We got our buddy Jacob up next. Jake, go ahead and give me that thumbs up in the camera if you're ready to rock and roll. Yes. Hey, Jacob, we caught him right at the worst time possible.
I had a good night hug. One second.
Go on.
Night, love you too, bud.
That's permissible.
There we go. It's still daylight where you are. You putting your kids to bed in daylight?
Well, that's school night, so it's 15 here, and they are 8 and 6, so got to get them to bed at a decent time to wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Where do you guys live?
Ohio, kind of like by Dayton area, if you know where that's at.
I know exactly where it is.
About an hour north.
Yeah, I've been to Dayton. I've been to Ohio a bunch. Don't ask me why, but I don't think people realize that the Wright brothers. Tell me if I'm wrong about this. They actually they put the plane together in Ohio, right? They were from Ohio.
And then they flew it out to the Carolinas, where they actually did the first flight. But
yeah, they went to Kitty Hawk. So Kitty Hawk gets all of the accolades, but Ohio, Dayton is where the whole thing was done, right?
Yep, that's where the bicycle shop was, I believe.
Yeah. So hard to believe that flight. When you think about flight today, if those guys were alive today and saw the fighting that goes on planes, it's like, hey, you know how you were pedaling your ass off trying to keep that thing in the air for like 20 seconds? Yeah. Okay. We got women pulling each other's hair out on planes. They fly 600 miles an hour in a tube. And they're trying to pull each other's hair out.
Yep. It's fast. Everything evolved from not that long ago, really.
Yeah, it came around pretty quickly. I mean, World War I, we already had planes in the air, and then they went, wait, this can actually happen. And then World War II, it really took off. Yeah. So, Jacob, how did you find me and us and all of this?
Oh, I guess a mixture of things. Started trying to lose weight again about at the beginning of the year. and then lost about 15 pounds on my own, and saw you on Mike Rowe, and I saw you somewhere else as well. And the kind of timing all worked out that I was not losing anymore on my own, and decided I needed to try something different. And everything you said kind of just clicked for me for some reason. It just all made sense that, just the way you explained it. And I've about 3.5, 4 months now doing this.
Yeah. So tell me about it. Tell me about the weight loss. You said you had only lost 15 or 20 pounds, and then you did this. And give us a background here.
Started 245 at the beginning of the year, and I was probably down about 230-ish. And then I'm sitting about 205 right now. So fluctuating anywhere from 5 to 6 pounds, probably depending on when I step on the scale. But every day or every week, I'm not saying it's a plateau by any means. I'm still trending down, half pound to a pound a week. So compared to my initial, first month and a half of getting all the junk out, it's not nearly. It's still, everything's trending in the right direction with this way of living. So,
how tall and how much do you weigh?
5'10", 205 right now.
And how old are you? Say again. Chris, he's muted for some reason.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
36.
36. God,
Yep.
baby.
Yeah.
I got a daughter almost your age. Man, that's amazing. Your weight, you'll probably end up at 175. But I like what you said. It's trending down. People they get bored with it. Oh, I'm at 205. I came down from 245 and I look a lot better and I'll just give up. Ice cream seems to be a good thing. It's football season. I'll start drinking beer, whatever. Stick with it, man. This is that point where I tell people, if you lose a half a pound to a pound a week and you lose somewhere between 2.5 and 4 pounds per month, that's kind of where you want to be. And people go, that's not really fast. Well, think about it. 10 months from now, that's 40 pounds. That's 30 to 40 pounds, right?
That's even a lot faster than what people put it on. When people talk to me about it, it's like, man, it took me 5 years to get here, and I got that much off in 4 months. So it can come off faster than what people realize, I think.
Yeah, the only difference between gaining weight and losing weight is that it's more fun to gain weight.
I don't. The compliments and all that's pretty fun. So there's a lot of positives of losing weight too.
Has anyone said to you, "Hey, are you on Ozempic?"
No. Actually, I had to jotted down a note here. One of the things that also spurred all this was the doctor was trying to put me on some high blood pressure medicine at one point. And I finally kind of said, yep, I need to do something different. I've done the roller coaster ride for too long of losing weight. I've been down there 200 before, back up to, just like I said, roller coaster type weight loss. And so I said, okay, I can go to a dietitian. That'll be the thing. And when I was there, it was very disappointing. I walked into the receptionist. Both of them weighed way more than I did. Both of them just very nice people, but they were working at a weight loss facility and were bigger than me. And then the dietitian came in, gave me some real high level stuff that, you can find anywhere real easy on diets, and then said, all right, what kind of GLP do you want? And she spent 3/4 of the time talking about GLPs instead of anything else. And I did ask about it because I didn't know anything about them at that point. This was before I'd listened to anything from you. And I walked out of there saying, there's no way I'm ever going to take that. So I'd say within a month is when I've kind of found you, and it's been all good from there. So.
Well, Jacob, you'll be glad to know that you did the right thing by not taking a GLP-1, because in our last Friday show, what we learned was if you do take a GLP-1, Chris, turn your mic on. You need to back me up on this. If you do have to take a GLP-1, your labia will start to droop.
Yep.
Yeah.
That. Or
in case you needed another reason.
Yeah. In case you had a labia, it will droop. I wish I see Laurie and Mike and Rebecca losing their minds over there. But Chris, read the headline of that article we had last week.
Let me see if I can find it real fast. This was from the New York Post, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Ozempic vulva is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
It's making women look aged and droopy down there.
Yeah. So, I had a band called Aged Vagina that, we did pretty well for a while. It was a garage band. What does an aged vagina look like? Chris, your wife is pretty young. My wife ain't young, but seems normal to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My wife has never had the weight loss issue. She's really good. So.
Yeah, but don't give her any GLP-1s because, you don't want those pit slaps just drooping down any further. Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing. This thing just went right out. I shouldn't have said that. Chris, cut that part out. Jesus Christ. I mean, there's nothing good. And by the way, I got a feeling that if someone is morbidly obese and they lose a lot of weight really fast, there's going to be a lot of drooping skin all over your body. Right. And it will tighten up. Have you noticed any, you've lost 40 pounds now, but you're young, right? So skin is coming back pretty quickly. Right.
I think I was probably at the point where if I got much bigger, I probably would have problems. But so far everything, I think losing it the right way this way, I think is helping too. I wasn't going on a metafast or something that you just drop a ridiculous amount of weight and water weight fast. And then, just drooping skin. So nope, nothing like that. Everything's staying respectable.
Good. Let's hope it stays like that because next is going to be Ozempic balls. And I don't know if we can handle that in this world.
I'm with you there. Yeah. I mean, see people be able to get, my ultimate goal. So my stage 1 goal is 200 pounds. And then from there, I'm hoping never to see that number on a scale again. I know, just life happens. I could go up 10 pounds or whatnot when I get down to target weight. But my ultimate goal is to have a 6-pack or something resembling that again. Right after high school is probably the only time I ever had one of those in my life. So I think at 36, it's still possible, but I know it's going to take more than just the diet, probably a little bit of exercise in that to make that happen. But
it's not just possible. You can make it happen. Like people think, oh, I'll never get that again. You would be shocked. Look, we had, I don't know if you saw Laurie a few minutes ago. She was on the show. I went and looked at her Instagram really fast, and you see some before and afters. She's unrecognizable, right? And her body, and she's my age. We're double your age, and she snapped back. She looks good. There are other people not quite as old as me and Laurie, but I'm thinking of other people that have lost a lot of weight, and the skin will snap back to a large degree. Now, some of these guys, they lose 400 pounds doing this, right? And they're going to have extra skin. You're not there, man. You're catching this in time. And I noticed you were hugging kids, which means you got kids.
Yep.
Right? So you want to be healthy for those kids. I don't think you understand how big of a deal that is because you're 36. It's like, yeah, I'll get. No. When you hit your 50s, you want to still be in shape for those kids. You guys can still do shit together, right?
Yeah, my son is into every activity I am, hunting and fishing and all that fun stuff. And I want to be able to go, we do an annual hunting trip to Indiana every year, down in the mountains of Indiana.
Yeah, and mountains. Yeah.
Compared to me right here, I am as flat as it can get behind me. We are in the plains. But even at my highest, I never held me back from doing anything, but I know at 50 it would. So be able to go hike around and do everything I need to with my kids. So
what kind of hunting do you guys do?
Well, it's just dove hunting with him tonight. He got to shoot his first dove at 8 years old. So he was pretty stoked. Mainly deer hunting and then mainly fishing for crappie or the mine. Yeah,
so I saw the shirt. So the thing about it is with deer, now back when I was a kid, we had to carry them out, right? Now everybody's got the Polaris, it's got the 4-wheel deal and the whole thing.
land is where we hunt normally, so we
Yeah.
TVs or anything. It's we do have a deer cart, which is a way different than dragging them. Two
Oh,
wheel.
yeah.
Yeah, I drug one out from 3.1 miles back one time, so we know how to. You got to go where the deer are.
Yeah, I mean it's a big deal, man. And you know, it's good that you're teaching your kid how to do that because it's good that kids see where food comes from. You know, they did a study 20 years ago, and kids in the city thought peaches came from a can.
That's crazy to me. One of my know a lot of farmers in our area, and I actually butcher basically all my own pork, all my own beef. We have a shed with a walk-in cooler that I just bought a half a steer and butchered half of it for someone else and kept the other half for myself. So my kids all are a part of that, ready to help them cut up stuff, and they're fully immersed in all that sort of stuff. So
That's a real talent to know how to butcher. You know, I can gut clean, skin, do all of that, but when it comes to butchering, I would literally skin my deer and do the whole thing and then just bring it to the butcher to let them do all the butchering.
Would you say you butchering?
I would butchering, yes. Yeah, I would.
But with YouTube anymore, it's crazy what you can learn too. I knew how to do a deer find by myself, but we got into the whole steer thing 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just YouTubed it and learned it as we went, and we now can do them for other people. So not too bad for an accountant from Ohio.
No, I think that's great. Well, keep up the great work.
Thank you, Vinnie.
Jake, you know, this has been wonderful to have you on. Please keep us posted. And if you have any questions, if you get stuck along the way, are you in the VIP group?
I am not, but I'm signed up for the next time it comes open. So
yeah, you can either do consults, which they're kind of expensive, but that's why I do the VIP for people that can't afford it. Doesn't, you know, it's not in their budget. Yeah, I have the VIP, so anyone can ask me questions at any time, and it's very affordable for everyone. So keep that in mind. Thank you for being on tonight.
Thank you, Vinnie.
Chris.
Yes, sir.
We have anyone else in the queue?
Nope. We are good to go.
Oh, we've done it. Look at us.
We did the thing.
Look at us. We did the whole thing. Who knew? Folks, stay on the line so Chris can make sure you're uploaded. He'll tell you when you can go away. You know what to do. We all go shopping on Amazon. Before you go to Amazon, go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track, and we're able to keep this show free for a gazillion years in a row. So please go and do that. Yeah, we were just talking about the VIP. If you want to be part of that, VinnieTortorich.com/VIP, I guess I should say VIP. So go check that out. On behalf of Chris Shaffer, Laurie, Mike and Rebecca, Jacob, my name is Vinnie Tortorich.